Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So in this video, we will continue the introduce of topics in probability. So in previous topics, we already talked about what's the definition of probability and how to compute the probability of the union of two events. So in this videos, we will talk about the conditional probability. So what is a conditional probability? So conditional probability means if we have some update of the information we have, then we will base on this new information to compute how likely of an event. So this is the meaning of the conditional probability. And to compute the conditional probability, we will need the probability of intersection of events. And also the donation of the conditional probability is, we call this is a probability B given A. So what this is if we given the information of A, then we will try to describe how likelihood event B happen. And so the formula for this one is numerator is a probability A intersection B, and the denominator is a probability of A. So here it's important you find the denominator of this definition. This should be the event in our symbol conditional probability after this given part. So this is very important because sometimes students will forgot which one is should in the denominator. And also because of this, we know probability of A is in the denominator. So in other words, this formula is only true when we have the probability of A is not 0. And because probability is always a number between 0 and 1, so that means here our probability A should be larger than 0. Okay, so this is the definition of how to compute a conditional probability. And here, maybe you will ask what happens if the probability of A is equal to 0. So when probability of A equals 0, that means this is something seems never happen. And if we want to consider some event, the how likely of an event B based on something never happened, this is, bring something not that reasonable. So here, the requirement of probability of A is a non-negative number. It's not a problem for the definition of probability. And in our last video, we introduced equally likely outcomes when we define the definition of probability. So here, if in this sample space we also inside equally likely outcomes, then the formula for the probability B given A will become more simple, because we know for equally likely outcomes, so the weight for each outcome will be 1 over n. So here n is the total number of outcomes in our sample space. Then the A intersection B, which means the outcomes in both A and B. So here the original formula, like numerator and the denominator as a probability, will change to the numbers of the outcomes in these two cases. So that means here on our numerator, this will become the number of outcomes in A intersection B, or in other words, in both A and B. And then the denominator will become the number of outcomes in our events or in size A. So this is what happens if we have equally likely outcomes. Okay, so now let me give you an example. So this is our question. So in this question, we assume there are some candidates will take two exams, A and B. So then some of them maybe only pass A, some of only pass B, and some maybe will pass both of them. So we use a table to describe the results. So here you can see in this table, for the number we have 3 columns and 3 rows. So if you look at one of them, so for example the number 32, so this is the people who pass the exam A and B, because the name above this column and on the left of this row is also both are A pass and B pass. So that means for 32 candidates pass both of this exam. And then if you look at some number like this 37 under the total column, so this means in total of these candidates we have 37 pass our exam B. Okay, no matter how they pass exam A or not, here we know this is 37 candidates pass exam B. And then how many candidates we have in total? Actually, here we should look at the largest number, and also this is a number under the column of total and also row of total. So this means in total we have 70 candidates. So this is our number of the how many candidates take both of this exam. So in the question, what they ask, so they ask us a conditional probability. So for this asks us what is the probability of people pass exam A when given they pass exam B. So to compute this one, what we need to do is we will need to compute by the formula. We will need to compute in the numerator is the people will pass both A and B. So this is kind of like the intersection of our 2-in-1. We can call this E1 and E2. Okay, so E1 is a pass exam A, E2 is pass exam B, and then the numerator is E1 intersection EB. So in other words, they need to pass both of the exam. And then on the denominator, this should be the information of our given information. So this is a exam pass candidates pass exam B. So this is a probability which is pass B. Okay, so this is what we have from the formula. And then to compute them, we need to look at how to compute the numerator. So the numerator is people pass both of the exam. We know in the number we have 32 people pass the exam, and in total we have 70 candidates. So that means the probability of pass both exam in this part is 32 divided by 70, right? So this is how people will pass both exam. And then similarly, look at the probability of how people pass the exam B. So this will become, let me write down. So this will become the number of people pass the exam B. Here, people pass exam B is this 37. So this is our number, like how many people pass the exam B. And then we also divide it by the total number, so which is also the 70. So I circle the number by original color. And based on this information, we know the denominator should be 37 divided by 70. Okay, so this is how we can compute the probability on numerator and denominator. And then the next thing is just use our calculator to compute this. So here I just write down the answer. So the answer will be 32 over 37. So this is our answer for this question, like what the probability of candidates pass exam A given candidates pass exam B. Okay, so this is one example, and of course later maybe you can compute a question about what is people who pass exam B and given people pass exam A. So you can compute this probability, and let's see will this have same answer or not. Okay, so this is my introduction of the conditional probabilities. In next video, I will talk about how to compute the probability of intersection. So then, hopefully you can look at my next video, and please subscribe this channel.